Hi, fam. It's becoming difficult. Politics are taking shift each and every day in Kenya. And more so, this has happened after the exit of Baba and has left a really big crack in ODM where they don't even know which direction to take. And I was watching yesterday the proceedings that were happening in Mombasa, where ODM was celebrating their 20 years of existence as a party. And you could sense, you could see the tension in between the party, where we have those people who joined the government because they were made to believe that it's their time for them to eat. What are they eating? The bread-based government, right? Because that's what we all know it is. It's a bread-based government. So now, looking at it this way, the gap that was left in there is bringing a lot of tension and a lot of division. I listened to some of the ODM members who are in support of the government, and according to them, there's going to be two farasis, two horses. That is the people who are supporting Gachagua and the people who are supporting President Ruto. Listen to this.
Politically, we have got just two formations, clearly, and there's going to be no big change between now and next elections. You are either with President Ruto or you are with the other formation led by Gachagua, isn't it? This confusion that a few of us would want to bring here, we must deal with it early enough.
What? The task is easy. Gather all. Do not scatter. To support President William Ruto, don't you? How many of you support President William Ruto?
The Bondo meeting was also attended by Siaya and Homa Bay governors James Orengo and Gladys.
So personally, I have no problem with this because, again, it's politics. You can pick whichever the side that you want. But now, my concern is where we're having the same party speaking two different languages. So they say that as ODM party, they should focus on, supporting President William Ruto come 2027. But now, yesterday, what happened in Mombasa, even though we had those party members like Akina Joho, like this is what Joho was trying to put across.
Samad party, deputy party leader, you are in leadership today. Ongezeni chama iende mbele, musitishwe na kila mtu ongee kwa chama hapa. Not everybody should be a spokesman. Tuko na viongozi ama hatuna viongozi? Tuko nao. Si waongee hawa. Ukiangalia Glado ni mtu wa kutishwa. Dr. Uburu ni mtu wa kutishwa. Sasa wewe nani uongee kama hawa hawajaongea?
So what Joho is saying in simple terms is that Gladys Wanga and the guys, the party leaders of ODM should make that statement that they are in the government, and come 2027, they are supporting who? William Samoei Ruto. Because we know, Joho, Akina Junet, Akina Gladys Wanga, these are people who are embracing UDA. They are literally UDA, disguised as ODM. But now, the most interesting thing, or where now it becomes like sparks of fire, is where now the real ODM members are speaking, like Akina Sifuna. Akina Winnie Odinga actually made a really good speech, and this lady, in the next few years to come, she might become a great leader of Kenya, probably even become a president, if she continues with the same spirit. Like, you can tell she has borrowed so much from her father. Like, when you see her speaking, and you can tell she has that political aura in herself, and it's amazing. So now, she made a statement, and it's like she was speaking to all these people in Joho who are in the government, telling them that there's no way ODM will be formed or was formed, when having a pillow talk. Like when you're, listen to her, it's amazing.
Until the heavens do Baba tusikize. Nimesikia mazungumzo za magawanyiko ya chama. Sahau ya yote. Baba alikuwa anasema hiyo ni nini ya chura? Kilio cha chura ama nini? Kelele cha chura. You know, when you have a great tragedy, people get confused and they act in strange ways. Lakini if anyone is thinking like that, wajue kwamba ODM inajenga na hatuna mchezo. ODM si chama kilichojazaliwa kama siri. Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk. It has been the heartbeat of the Kenyan people for 20 years. ODM was born from protest. It was raised in resistance. And the people of ODM have time and time again bled, sweat, and shed tears for this country called Kenya.
There are people in the party. They are behaving as if ODM is the one that needs Ruto. Is Ruto that needs ODM? Kwa sababu ameshindwa.
We are sorry that we don't always get it right. Poleni. But we will never be sorry for being inconvenient. They like to call us a party of goons. What we're doing is nation building. Nation building is untidy. Nation building is inconvenient. Nation building is uncomfortable. Nation building has left us in tears as ODM, as the People's Party, time and time again. But we, ODM, belong to the people. And we will continue growing because the young people of...
You've heard the way Winnie Odinga speaks with vigor. I mean, she carries the same spirit of Baba. And I bet you can tell that in the next coming few years, she might be such a great politician or a leader in this case. So now, you can see how much ODM is going to be divided. And as we approach 2027, it's going to even be worse. Probably split ODM into two. Those ones who will be in the government, because there's no way you're going to get people like Akina Joho out of the government. They are not going to leave the bread-based government anytime soon. I can bet on this. These people have tasted it and they know how sweet it is and they're not going to leave it. But again, there's no way you're going to put people like Akina Sifuna, Winnie, and James Orengo. You're not going to put them in the same basket with Ruto. Either for optics or whatever, but they're not going to be in the same basket. So what is going to happen with ODM as a party? I think they might just split. But don't forget, Ruto was part of ODM at some point back. And you might see some crazy things happening because, again, in politics, you can never be surprised of these things taking shifts and turns, you know? You understand that? But now, the thing is, is the first guy who made a speech telling us that come 2027, there might be only two groups, Farasi Wawili. And that is the people who are supporting the opposition that is led by Gachagua and those who are supporting William Samoei Ruto. Did you get that speech when the guy started saying that? This is something that we should not take lightly. This is something that we should start thinking about. Is it psychologically they are preparing us to have only two big groups, like a one unified opposition, like I said before? Don't be surprised when the whole of this ODM that is not in the government is going to support or to unify with Akina Kalonzo, Akina Gachagua, Akina Uhuru Kenyatta, Akina Fred Matiang'i, Akina Maraga. They are going to form one unified opposition, and it will be a race between the two horses. You can either attach yourself to this side or the Ruto side. That is how I see it, because there's no way some of these members who are already in ODM are going to eject. They are not going to leave ODM. They're not going to leave the bread-based government. And again, now, or if you look at this other side, and the fact that the ODM party, some of the ODM members have already said that they are going to support Kalonzo, who is also being supported by Akina Gachagua in some way and Uhuru Kenyatta. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting election come 2027. It's going to be interesting. And if this happens, if this opposition unites, I can bet Ruto will not stand a chance. Ruto might not stand a chance. Because the real power is with the ODM that is not divided. And Akina Gashagwa and Akina Kalonzo, those people, they would hold now the real power. But Ruto, power will be lying in the police, the state machinery, and all the instruments of power that he can be able to consolidate so that he can consolidate power for himself. So itakuwa a very tricky situation. I don't know what is your opinion, but this is just my opinion though.